Okay, we're live. This is James Maduke speaking, trainingsites.io. I got a question for you today. Do you like potluck dinners? Now, what does a potluck dinner have to do with your training site business, your community, all of the stuff that you're doing to build and grow your education business? Well, one of the things that's happened to me, well, not when when your kids get married, it ends up that your family kinds of gets bigger, right? You've got in-laws and your daughter or son-in-law may have additional brothers and sisters, and they may have families and Christmas gatherings, all the seasons of the year where there's some gatherings together. When every family gets together, there's often a little bit of a problem or at least some discussion on who's going to host the event or the celebration or the big dinner for whatever that time of year is. Who's going to be the one that's going to have the place? What is everyone going to eat? And there often is two kind of approaches to it that people run into. One of them is someone says, hey, yeah, we can do it at my place and I'll make this, 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 and this. And they'll have a whole menu planned out. On the other hand, you may go to some families where either it's very, very large or everyone's running around and it's very unplanned, or there isn't the ability to plan things in a real structured way, or no one wants to take on all the responsibility. It ends up being a potluck dinner, right? And a potluck dinner, if you're not familiar with it, hopefully you are, but it's like one person brings one part or one course or one part of the meal. Another person or family brings one part, and hopefully all the pieces work together so that you have a meal that works for everyone. So a little piece here, a little piece there, and then trying to organize them put together. Now, the thing is, when you create a potluck dinner, it's not like one person that says, hey, this is exactly how I want something to taste, or this is the combination that I want, and I don't want anyone to be able to do anything outside of that combination. And when it is that combination, this is how I prepare this combination. This is the recipe that I use. This is how long that I cook it for. This is when I cook it. This is when I put it in the container that I use to cook it. These are the spices that I use to cook it. And everything's all planned out. But when you go to a potluck, it's like they may do something completely different and you either don't like it or you really like it. It's kind of like an experiment, right? And you can get people who are known for the pieces of their potluck dinner, and then other people who are known for their potluck and say, well, yeah, you can bring something, just don't bring that again. It doesn't work. I don't like it. No one liked it. So you're probably wondering, why am I talking about this? And here's the thing that happened. I just went through this personally as we're planning for Christmas here when I'm making this video. And the thing that's happening is we're trying to figure out who's going to host it and how are we going to have the meal or the celebration or whatever it is for Christmas during this year. And the discussion came up, well, let's have a potluck. And someone said, no, I'll take care of it and do the whole thing. This is the exact same situation that happens when you're building a training site or a community site or a membership site. You kind of have two choices. And many people will choose the potluck approach as opposed to the planned email or planned mail. And what I'm talking about is the difference between when you have a training site or membership site or a campus or any kind of place where you're starting, building, and growing an education business. That platform that you build on is either going to be a potluck platform, or it's going to be something that's completely planned, that's out of your control, based on what the person who's holding it is hosting. Now, both are great, both work, but just understand they work a little bit differently. And when people are using WordPress, often they're doing it as a potluck kind of website. And what do I mean by that? Well, what happens is that you actually go and you say, yes, I want to build it on WordPress. I want to be in control of things. I want to be the one that has the data. I want to be able to customize the way everything works. I want to be able to have flexibility to know that I'm going to add mashed potatoes here, and this is the way I'm going to do them. I'm going to add this vegetable here. I'm going to have turkey there. I like my stuffing this way, and I only want cranberries that are jellied cranberries. I don't want fresh ones. And for dessert, I'm going to have this, and we need this kind of gravy and these kind of vegetables. So it's a potluck kind of website, right? It's all these different pieces coming together. Hopefully you've got the right ones that make a good meal. On the other hand, if you go, man, I just don't want to deal with that. I want someone to take care of it. that's when you use a tool like Kajabi or any of these new ones like School and Go High Level with Colab now that's coming out. And it's just like you go, you show up, the meal's prepared, it's prepared the way they prepare it, and you basically just go and eat and leave when you want. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily you're going to get leftovers and you don't really have the control of the meal. Someone else is doing it. You're not bringing any of the choices or the potluck pieces that you want in it. And both of them work, but they both require a different amount of work for you as the trainer, as the teacher, the person that's being involved in this. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because there is something new that fits in between of these two things. So I've got another video and I'll show you, I'll put the links actually in trainingsites.io where you can join our community free and get access to all of the videos and resources that we have there. But there's a sweet spot in between. So it's like a potluck WordPress site and a planned meal for yourself. There's a spot in between, and that's what we're actually building or using now at trainingsites.io. It's based on WordPress, but is a set grouping of meals or parts to the meal where we're in control of the potluck, and all of the different parts are ones that are very similar or are connected together in a tried, true, and tested way. And I think this is the real sweet spot for people who are wanting to teach online over the long term, who want to build a training site to be able to educate people about a transformation that they can provide. And there's an exciting space in here. So what I'm going to do is I want you to just think about in the short term, do I want to have to work at organizing the potluck and making sure that all of the pieces are there? You know, do I need an autoresponder or a CRM? How am I going to take care of the courses? What am I going to use for community? How am I going to keep a directory of membership sites? How am I going to do my events or calendars? Those are like all pieces of the meal, right? The potluck meal. You got to bring them in and make sure that they all work together and fit together. On the other hand, if you're going to use something like Kajabi or School or Go High Level, Colab, any of those particular, even Circle.so, any of these kind of tools, it's like, yeah, I'm just showing up and I'll put what I have into whatever's there. So this spot in the middle where you are in control, but the amount of work that you have to do to test how these things all work together and make sure that you have all of the pieces. There's a whole bunch of new tools coming out in WordPress right now, specifically from the group at WP Managed Ninja and the Fluent suite of products that they have, which are like a set meal plan that is best of both worlds. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. More importantly, go visit trainingsites.io. It's free to join. And over the next couple of videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to actually do or create your campus. We're going to talk about a flipped funnel and how you can actually market your training business. And we're also going to use and talk about how to publish all of your courses and set up your courses so that you can build a training site as opposed to a membership site, and why the differences can be important to you and your students. So my name is James, trainingsites.io. I hope to see you again shortly. We do these every day, live sessions to help you start, build, and grow your education business. Take care and expect the best.